Alrighty, we got ourselves another Gimmity game on the radar right now as we're going to be watching two of the greats going at it. In the top right-hand corner of the map, playing as Freyr, his name is Soup. His opponent today in the bottom of the map, the resident Hades expert. The man, the myth, the legend. He was rank 1 way back in the day, one of the few players to topple the Titan that was Magyar, and one of the few players to fly underneath my radar during his reign. For whatever reason, I missed his existence. Don't ask me why. I don't have a good answer. I don't know. Anyways, this is Firefox. He's Ice Fox here. But he is playing his Hades, and we're going to be watching ourselves two defensive powerhouse gods going at it. And we'll see who gets to come forward with the advantage in this one. Thank you for the tier 1 Semi Shimmers. How you going? I hope you're still having fun with all the stuff. Hope you're well. Temple coming up now for Firefox. He loves to do this. Get yourself 3 villages on food. Get yourself the temple. You can get yourself a very, very quick Vault of Erebus, which gives you a nice amount of resources early. The only problem with this is that it will slow your classical age down. And it depends on what you want to be trying to do here. In this matchup, the only other potential thing I can see for skipping this sort of a upgrade would be doing some crazy forward temple strategy. Because you're going to want to get that 20 favor in anyways for... Oh, sorry, 15 favor in anyways for Vaults of Erebus. But one idea could be... Now, hear me out on this. It's wild. One idea could be forward temple, fast advance, immediate Labyrinth of Minnows, running in, causing all the idle time in the world while your opponent is going to take a very late 4:45-ish advance time. You're just looking for idle time. While the villager stays here gathering the next amount of favor for Vaults of Erebus. You're not going to have any time loss over here or whatever. He just gets that up. And then maybe you can do something. Maybe then you can go for the town center of your dreams and you can find yourself a big advantage because the Frey player is very scared. Another option could be to go for a big rush there as well. But you would be wanting to get that Vault of Erebus in afterwards. Some crazy ideas. Anyways, thank you so much for the subscription, Justin MLX. Appreciate you, my friend. Hope you enjoy hanging out with me. All right, we haven't talked about the relics yet. Scales of a Catoplopas over here. On this side, we've got Pelt of Argus. Just getting some extra line of sight. Feather of Jingwei, getting some wood trickle, always nice. And finally, Kui Drum. This one, pretty important relic, to be honest. I think that's a really slept-on relic for everyone. Big relic there. I did touch on maybe a crazy other idea for the Hades. Crazy ideas for Frey, they don't really exist. What are you going to do? Fast advance time into an immediate Valkyrie into your opponent's base, harassing? Could work. It works with Thor. Does it work with Odin? Kinda. Would it work with Frey? Maybe. Maybe you could go for a fast Dizablot or something with a cheap upgrade. It's going to come in a little bit too late because of how long it takes Frey to get stuff. Other option will be a fast second Valkyrie to start raiding. But all in all, the safe play in this matchup is to just take the late advance, get Ulla, and go for stuff. So both players are going to be getting set up here as Ajax popping out for Firefox. And he's going to look to start grabbing a whole bunch of relics. He's got himself 6 villages on gold and 5 villages on wood. It's looking like he wants a town center here with an Achilles as well. As a cheeky little Herser out into the middle of the map. Love your YouTube videos. Greetings from Germany. Hello there. What is it? Guten Tag. Is it morning? Are we morning in Europe at the moment? Or are you midday? I don't know. 6 hours behind, right? Guten Tag. Yes, Guten Tag. Not Guten Morgen, right? Anyways. Sorry, apologies for my terrible German. I don't have German. German's not a language I can speak. All right. We see Soup doing classic Soup things, stealing away relics underneath the nose of our dear friend Firefox as a cheeky little Minotaur. Wandering forward here, one thing that I've noticed is this unit's really important for Hades. Really, really, really important. Don't want to throw it away. You need it for early game defense and all the other good stuff, unless you're going for a second town center, in which case it doesn't matter as much. Nonetheless, villagers for Soup in classic Soup fashion, moving out onto the second hunt here as the Minotaur coming through. The Hersa will spot it, but this is a little bit late as Soup's going to take just a little bit of damage here. Big mistake here from, not a big mistake, but, no, big mistake actually from Firefox. Oh, he gets the villager kill. Okay, never mind. What you want to do, in my opinion, is you want to auto attack twice with the Minotaur. And then you want to headbutt. But he got 2 villagers, so I guess Firefox is better than me. Yeah. But he does lose the Minotaur for it. So big win, but big loss as well, as the town center now up for Firefox. And now the question is, where to next? We got our second town center up as the Hades. Frey here, Soup going for the ultimate greed as he normally does, gets punished, comes back onto the hunt. Not going for a second town center here. The problem that's going to come is, what is Soup and Freyr's plan right now? You need to know already. You absolutely need to know already what his plan is. So this means Scout needs to be on this settlement. Pegasus needs to be over here. If you don't see a town center coming up, we need to start worrying about forward Asgardian Bastion, for example, coming down onto this position and causing ultimate chaos. How are you going to be able to defend against that right now is the big question. Because the gold mines are terrible. You got Zom, but if Soup just wanders forward with max units and just plops an Asgardian Hillfort onto this gold mine, then what are you going to do as the 2 town center Hades? Not a lot. There's no units out. You don't stop it. And that's exactly what Soup is going for. And he doesn't use it close. He's got nothing to worry about right now, but how does he know? How does he know exactly what's going on? And at this point, 7 minutes and 30 seconds into the game, he spots the Asgardian Hillfort, loses the Ajax, obviously, there with 1 HP, but there's no stopping this Hillfort. So now, Firefox is playing a game of, oh dear, where to next? This is going to be a very tough hold, because Soup can just grab himself the immediate rams for the classical age as well. The problem is that this Asgardian Hillfort is not in range of the gold mine, so totally fine here for Firefox to get onto this position and keep going. He's got himself an archery range or 2, military academy archery range coming in, but this is going to be a problem as the Yidalier tech coming in, opening up the position here. It's a forward gold mine. To be honest, terrible talent center for Firefox. What else can he do but spam units at this moment? Well, one other option would have been, had he scouted what was going on, grab as much gold as he possibly could here from this gold mine, bank it up, sit here, rush Heroic Age, get himself the fortress, get himself the towers, etc. And then just drop a fortress down. He's got sentinels here, fortress down, and then he can start sieging the Asgardian Bastion down. Problem is with that, you will get ram ranched. So you can't really go for that. So he's got to just spam units. He's got to just spam units and just sort of try and hold. This is where things get very tricky. Now, while this is all going on, Soup's got his position completely on lock, right? He's not going to want to leave here anytime soon. So what you could do is just send Achilles off. Achilles is no good here. Send him off, look for raids. Position here, into the main base, hit this, etc. Nonetheless, portable ram now out. How's this coming up for Firefox? And the game races ahead. I Soup to retreat back underneath the safety of this Asgardian Hillfort. You cannot be throwing away units at this point. Every single little bit of unit is so important here. Now, one thing you really want to be aware of with effectively how to defend against these ram pushes, don't chase the ram. He's got an Asgardian hill fort here. He's got Throw an Axeman here as well. If Soup plays this, or if the Frey player plays this really well, they're going to send those Rams in, whack the tower, and then they're going to retreat back into Throw an Axeman. You're going to lose all your hoplites. So the actual best in slot way to defend this is to actually garrison inside the watchtower and just wait for the Rams. When they come in, you pop out, you shank. When they run away, you garrison back into the watchtower. And there's no way for him to breach that without taking some significant damage from your watchtower as he's throwing Axemen. Have to get in there and start actually helping. As the tower goes down, nice little movement here from Firefox as he's looking for something to attack. Got some walls coming up onto the top side of the map. Love that from Soup as he's trying to starve Firefox for everything. 11 minutes into the game, Town Center is holy ass second Asgardian Bastion. Well, this is what's going to happen. Now, luckily for Firefox, he's probably in a position now where he can maybe start thinking about moving on to a second gold mine, but he's trying to take out the Asgardian Bastion as the restoration comes through, sniping down some units over here. Villagers shanking. Portable Rams now starting to get cleaned up here as the medium raiders to come through. Villagers will be able to take out a couple of those portable Rams as 2 houses there for 3 Rams. That's a good trade there for Firefox, but now the Asgardian Bastion is up and Firefox is forced out of his base. Do you see some nice little raids here, picking off some villagers of Soup. Every little bit matters here. Onto this gold mine. He needs as many units as he possibly can. Lots and lots of wood in the bank. Another temple on the back to come up. Selling wood for gold at this point is totally reasonable. He's just got to get out some army. Unfortunately, he's lost his restoration in that previous defense, which is his big advantage. And now with Huskarl coming out, the real only way to defend against them is getting those pacifists out, which he doesn't have access to. Meanwhile, Firefox checking out here as the watchtowers is in, and Firefox will have to just simply retreat those units back home and try and defend this. Now, one idea here for Firefox would be to just throw some towers up here. This is not a terrible idea. He's got all of this wood in the bank. Just get some towers up onto this front position and make life very, very difficult for Soup to push in here. Military resource differential is equal. You've got to be careful on these sort of push forwards with the hoplites. This is not where you want your hoplites at all. Good control from Soup, though. Gets the raiding cavalry onto the backside. Huskarl to snipe down those Toxotes beautifully there. But the entirety of that front line melts to the Hearser throwing Axemen. The back line going to be falling here as well. However, with the inclusion of the villagers for Firefox, he might be okay. Nope, he's got to pull back into his main base. That was just a really well fought position there from Soup as Firefox just allowed his hoplites to run away from the safety of his Toxotes, and he just loses them all without getting good damage done there. Nonetheless, game still continues along. Firefox, he can sneak this gold mine. He's over onto this position as well, unfortunately chopping wood down instead of on the gold mine. Villager differential still in favor of Firefox. He's still got that advantage, but he needs to get the military up. And he is actually in front of military at the moment. As Firefox does notice, he gets back up onto this spot. Good to go. At this point, with this gold mine snuck and this position that he's in, we are going to be seeing another Asgardian Bastion to come through. It might just be the best idea to just try and sneak a heroic age here and stop spamming units. But Firefox sees the opportunity here to actually take some good fights at the moment. The Minotaur here is gigantic, but going down to the Hearser very quickly there. As with the Huskarl on top of those Toxotes, they will clean everything up. And Firefox does manage to deny the Asgardian Bastion. He's got to snipe the rest of those Herso down so this Minotaur can get some good value. He manages to hold on for the time being, and all of a sudden, the game flips, and Firefox is in a great spot. He's got the gold mine on the right, snuck. He's got some villagers that can move over onto this gold mine now. I still want to see some watchtowers or something getting dropped down if he can. But now he needs to start thinking about maybe getting himself the Minotaur upgrade and going for Minotaur raids. Shade raids are also a valid idea here as well. As a cheeky little portable ram coming out. As he does manage to snipe one house, coming after the main base now. Villagers will turn and start shanking down. Get some good damage done. And that portable ram. Really, not much value just yet. One house and almost down. And running around here. Just got to let it go underneath the hill fort. Sad to let a 34 HP portable ram go, but diving underneath the Asgardian Bastion will never be useful there as the Shade's still moving around the map. Trying to find where the gold miners are. You do have that Pegasus, right? He's just floating over here. Get that to work, and then you can start looking at something to actually attack. As the villagers going down. Nice little raid here. And Super's out of there. Lots and lots of Minotaur in, though, for Firefox, as he's still trying to make this classical age work for him. I want to see, there we go, Labyrinth of Minos, and I want to see him getting those raids in. Now Soup says, time for a second town center. He does have access to what?
Yo.
He has access to Gullenbursty, right? So he manages to get to the heroic age. He's pumping out units now. He's really far behind on military at the moment, as the dwarves do get spotted. Labyrinth of Minos is in. 5.2 speed in a Dream. The 4.8 speed Hersa not going to be able to chase these bad boys down. But as Firefox leaves this spot, the raiding cavalry coming over here to get some more damage done over onto this side. We are seeing the counter attack. A couple of villagers over here need to get brought up and start defending this, or the hoplites to come over here again. Hoplites diving in, trying to snipe down those throwing axemen. It's not what you want from them. As the ram will end up going down here. So even with the villagers not doing any damage, or not having bonus damage, they still kill off the siege. I don't know what anyone's complaining about. So far, I'm saying siege, not even that useful, right? Come on, guys. Come with me. Stay it with me. No villagers. 0 damage. All right. And now we've got the A-gear coming in. And this here is just a bait. All right. There was enough units here for Firefox to take that fight. Enough of an advantage. But he did not read that position correctly. Loses all of his Minotaur on this one. Actually, I mean, does he have all of his units over here? I think he did. I think he could have stayed here and actually fought this. So the way that this God Power works is the more wait, let me try and explain it. So the more units you have in the Tempest, the less effective the Tempest is. And what that means is, in order to freeze a unit, it has to be hit something like 3 or 4 times, right? So if you've got yourself a full population army and your opponent's got 90 pop, don't need to run away. Stay there and fight it. Stay there and fight it. I'll give you this thing here. So each shard inflicts 5 pierce, 5 divine. Each hit slows the target move speed and attack speed for 11 seconds. And it's 5 times it needs to be hit for it to actually freeze. So if you've got, if you've got like a 190 pop army and your opponent doesn't have a 190 pop army, you can stay there and fight it. But if they do, if they're equal, then yeah, you don't want to be there. As the Gullenbursty gets called down, the villagers going to get bashed away. Got a micro on this one there. That Gullenbursty getting too much value at the moment. Snipes down a Minotaur. As Firefox desperately trying to get to the next age here. These Asgardian hill forts are just so much pain for Firefox at the moment. Drops a grounder over here, going to start eating these hippopotamus, it looks like. As the game mode is ahead, losing more villagers onto this spot. And it's like, against everything else... Actually, no, I still think Firefox is in a good spot, but against everything else, Firefox would well and truly be winning here. But against Frey... Because he's got all these cheap upgrades, he's just gaining so much bonus here. So much. Good little raid up here with the Toxotes. Pushing forward. Sees the tower. There's a couple of pretty scary Goaty here, but the Toxote numbers are nice. They're going to be taking those ones out pretty quickly. Couple of villagers to come in and try and snipe down the tower. Does have himself that survival equipment. These guys do 4x versus towers, so pretty strong here. Really smart, actually, from Firefox to use them. We'll be losing the villagers, though. Because he's got such a villager advantage, why not bring them in and make use of them? A little bit of an armory check here as full bronze starting to come through. On the other side, full copper is already in. And at the moment, unfortunately for Firefox, does not have himself the military barracks out that he needs to spend these resources that he's got. At the moment, he is floating something like 1,000 resources, right? These are 90 apiece. And just because you got them queued up, you're floating them, right? He's got to get those barracks down. Now he's doing so. Over onto this side, hoplites getting dealt with. Nice micro onto the Goaty there as the curse gets dropped down. Dwarves pushed off the gold mine for the time being. And now, Firefox can go into Hypaspist, Peltast, and things will start to look very scary on the other side as we've got a fortress into the main base, forcing Petropoli to start sieging these Asgardian Bastion down. Losing that Nemean line there, unfortunate. Up onto the top side. Firefox going after a villager. Game's still in the balance. Great positioning with these Toxotes. Firefox is all over Soup at the moment. And Soup is actually gold starved right now. 0 gold income, but it doesn't matter because he's got 1,000 in the bank. As the random Toxotes will start to get cleaned up. Getting told it's Icefox, not Firefox. Yeah, but this is his Smurf. We call him by his real name, okay? Smurfs don't exist. As Soup desperately trying to get his act together here. He's back onto another gold mine. Units coming up to the top side. Another Asgardian hill fort to come down. Secure this gold mine. However, fortress up. Petropolis queued up. And then all of a sudden, Asgardian hill forts will be no more. A huge find at the top here for Firefox as Soup immediately retreats. He's got himself the 69 HP, so that means he's got survival equipment as a couple of villages will go down, but a beautiful raid there. As Mythic Age now coming through, Hephaestus, the god of choice. I actually don't know about the Hephaestus. I think staying Heroic Age and just spamming here is the best idea, or going for Artemis to Earthquake through the fortified town center in this spot. I mean, he's got the Petropolis, so no problems, but I don't know if I like going Heroic Age here. Look at the army which Soup has assembled, and all of a sudden he's getting out Petropolis as well, which is like you don't have the defenses at this point to protect yourself. Meanwhile, up onto this side, units getting taken out underneath the Asgardian hill fort, trying to snipe those. But look at this army here from Soup. It looks absolutely brutal. Only a handful of hoplites in onto this spot to defend. You can use the Petropolis to target down the Bergrizi because I've only got 40% crush armor. for the fortress to go down immediately here, as this Mythic Age seems to have bitten Firefox in the bum. The one way that Soup brings himself into a winning position here is denying this Mythic Age or just breaking through here, generally speaking. Villagers getting pulled. Another portable ram to go down. One remaining here, not getting attacked. Could have gone down if this was actually focused, but not able to. As Morberg Greasy rushing through, Firefox spread as thin can be. The top villagers cut off from the bottom town center here. How can Firefox get out an army here at the moment? He can't. How many buildings does he have? He's got himself 7 military academies, 3 archery ranges, plenty of buildings. But look at the resources. Actually, doesn't. 2 of these are still not built. And it looks like after all is said and done, Firefox is going to have to pull some sort of a miracle out here to pull himself back into this game. Getting himself the Ajax out, trying to finish off that Bergreasy there, but the Jarls are in. The Huskarl are in. And the army is just too potent here, it looks like. Is the Bergreasy going to fall? But, I mean, there is at the very least, there's a Plenty Vault in the bottom here to help out. So that still has an economic advantage on one side. But again, it doesn't really matter at this point, because Freyr is paying half the price for upgrades. He's also not paying for the hill forts as well. Remind yourself of that. That's a lot of resources that you just gain for free there. Nonetheless, iron upgrades to come through. As Firefox's desperate attempt to keep himself alive in this game. More portable rams coming in. More units coming through. And the town center now to start falling as well. Just no units here, and Soup adding insult to injury, grabbing the town center, the home base town center of Firefox. Temple coming up onto the bottom side. I'm not sure what else Firefox can do here. Soup's town center up. Houses falling, buildings falling. Just had cheeky little Perseus to come through. Little bits of damage up onto the top here. I mean, Firefox has still got an economy. He just doesn't have any units out. He's behind by 5 or 4k military resources, and he's just not going to be able to pull it back here. Meanwhile, onto the top side. Oh, one Ajax pops out to defend against the Bergreasy. He's going to have the gold mine at the very least with this spot. Can get out maybe some Gestrophides or something. That's what he's going for. Start getting some damage done. I have seen Hades pulling themselves back from worse positions before. Believe you me. However, the Plenty Vault here will go into Soup's hands soon. And he has taken the villager lead after all is said and done. As a Zom onto the front. Will this be enough here? Houses going down. Temple to go down as well. Does have that crenellations in, so the Jarls will at least take some significant damage from the fortress there. Now, oh, Firefox still has the plenty vault. Managing to hold on to it for now. But Gash defeats to take out the hometown center. Losing these to the watchtowers is not what you want. They kill them off so quickly with that burning pitch. Look at that damage. They do 23x versus buildings. It's like a wild number. Absolutely wild number. But now the army marches up to the top side here. Soup's got the Jarls. He's got the Huskal. He's got some Rams to come in and take out the fortress. And now the fortress going to be falling, and this is kind of the last little bit of a stand that Firefox can actually make in this game. Losing this, loses the gold mine. Sure, he's got a gold mine behind for a little bit. Sure, he's got the fortress here, but this is the push into this position, into this town center. Losing villages down to 54 villages at the moment. No answer for the Rams. The position is lost. Firefox still scrambling all over the map. Can he make it work? A 17 HP Bull Minotaur in a dream here. 90 of 140 population. As the dwarves going down, no reaction from Soup at the moment. Getting huge value from this 17 HP Deuterino. Look at him go. Could be the way back in. So Bergrizi going down. Is there a... There is a Perseus here. So those Bergrizi die incredibly quickly. But Soup has to pull back and just clean up all of these random things on this spot. Even the villagers getting involved. Dude, this guy's gotten 10 kills. The hero Bull Minotaur. Look at him go. No, don't kill the ox cart Bull Minotaur. And the dwarves will run away by themselves. Actually, they'll run over here. It's fine. Another one! There's a Mythic Age Bull Minotaur as well. These guys are absolutely slapping. And finally, Soup realizes after he loses the entirety of the gold mine. Soup asleep at the wheel. There's more Rams moving forward. Fortress to go down. Does decide to turn around and start shanking those Rams there. And what else can Firefox do? 44 villages in a dream. Can he bring it back? He's trying. He's all over the place. Bull Minotaur. A dream is held, but it will not be enough as the Goaty take it out. Falling over onto this side. Everything falling for Firefox. He's still one town center. He's got 3k gold in the bank. He can buy some... Wait, can he? I don't even think he's got a market. No market either for Firefox. So he can't even buy food and wood to try and muster out one last ditch effort. As the Hades, the never say die Hades, will eventually need to say die in this game. Just the Minotaur's just coming back. Wait, is there a gold mine? Wait, there is a gold mine, right? Where is he getting gold from? Oh, okay. Just grabbing the gold mine in your opponent's base just because. Just because. There's another cheeky ass Guardian Bastion coming up over here. And Soup goes, all right. Time for a town center victory. If we can't get him to resign, we'll grab this one and then we'll walk over here and we'll grab this one and we'll go the town center victory angle. I've seen 1 versus 5 TC win. I've never seen 6 versus 0 TC win. I've never seen it. It's never happened before. As the town center will finish up. Minotaur, Hoplite, Hypaspist will go down to those throwing axemen. Actually, if they're targeting down the Bull Minotaur, he might be okay here. These guys do have very big axes. If they're attacking and then the Hypaspist get on top, now they're doing good damage. So at last, a good fight there for Firefox, but with the rest of the units coming over. 173 of 260 population. More houses up to the top here. 18 villages in a dream. 18 villages in a dream. But hell on the way. Come on, get the town center. Oh, we see a fortress. Gotta secure the town center. Can't let that go can't let that go to soup, because then the timer starts ticking down. And in that moment there, Firefox does tap out. And Soup claims the dub. What a game. And this game really just came down to a decision, a couple of decisions in a key moment. And this was, I think, two decisions which to one or the other makes sense, but both at the same time is difficult. The decision was Mythic Age plus Petropolis. He has these hill forts in front of him, right? He wants to clear these, so he goes for the Petropolis. But in doing so, he's now spending the little advantage that he has on resources on units that can't defend him. So he then goes Mythic Age as well, which basically means he's got no resources in that moment, which then results in the only thing that Soup could potentially do there to win that game, which has always got to be that question you have to ask when making a decision, is what decision can my opponent potentially make in this moment that's going to make me lose? And if you're constantly asking that question, you're going to be scouting for it as well, right? And there it was, well, I didn't build military to defend myself, or buildings to defend myself. I built siege to push with no protection of the siege, and I spent all my resources on going to the Mythic Age, which ended up with this moment in the military graph, which was everything. Not only that, there was also this amount of unit that was not in the defensive position. He was out raiding. So those Petropolis were just naked. It's the day they were born. Are Petropolis naked? I don't know. Anyways. A well-played game here from Soup. I love the craziness with the Asgardian Bash, and it does make you really question whether or not you can grab that second town center. We got a 4 gold mine, but Firefox made a game of it. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure you hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button, and all the other good stuff. I'll see you guys in the next game.